exactly. No, you're right.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go even deeper for a second. And I did obviously give these to you earlier because I wanted you to be able to think about them. But when you come up against things, obviously this year is a huge example, but just before this even happened, when you're talking about the warehouse and where it was and just other hurdles that the business has come up or you've come up as the business owner, how do you keep motivated past them? And how do you kind of just be like, all right, well, I just got to get up tomorrow anyway and keep going?
For me, I did think about this question a lot. It's a good one. For me, it's the vision. That's kind of, to put it all in a nutshell, it's just I call it the vision though, not the plan, because I've learned you cannot really make plans, but if you just keep your vision in your head, however you need to get there, you figure it out and you get there. So it's definitely, you know, I can't say for the last like 4 or 5 years I've been like super extra thrilled about our rental business, because it's been a long time and I've always been looking for what's the next level. And that's just kind of my personality. But it's also like learning to take a step back, see what you have, because, you know, whether you've created a small business or whatever it is, like you need to appreciate what you've done and then just get back in there and, you know, keep moving forward however even if you have to change things a little, because, you know, you have the power to change it, which is so hard, so much harder said than done. Like everybody's always like, oh, you own your own business, like you can make your own schedule, you can do whatever you want, but that's not always the case.
It's a machine.
Totally.
It's a machine.
And, you know, like for our business, you know, we're booked out 1 to 2 years in advance sometimes. So, like, you can't just change it. It doesn't work like that. But I just feel like if you always have the vision in your mind and you try to find ways to chip away at it, you know.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your
question.
No, it does. I think it's really...
I think for me, like, I'm such an immediate gratification person, which means, like, I really don't have great patience, but I do.
They just waved at each other, just to let you guys know. They waved at each other like it was love at first sight.
Soul sisters. I do have patience when it comes to a lot of things, but when I have something that is in my head and I want to create, like, I want it done yesterday, and I want it, like, available to the public yesterday, and for everybody to be sharing me on social media yesterday, and, like, I think that's been one of my biggest fears that I am struggling to overcome and wanting to create my own space in business, is that, like, I'm just scared that, like, I'm going to do it for nothing, even though I know that's not going to be the case, but I'm scared that, like, I don't want to start almost because I'm like, I know that it's just not going to be that instant gratification, and I need to get over that. So I respect the fact that you just raised your hand and waved at me when I said that, because I'm like, am I
the
like,
only way feeling
is that like so weird to feel, and is that it's not a good enough reason not to start something, is really what I'm coming to in my head about.
I feel like, well, because I have no patience, and Jason has he has the most patience. But I feel like I don't want to say everything happens for a reason, but it kind of does. But it's also like you're put on like a specific path for a specific reason. Like, you know, we've had these visions and these plans, like kind of the same for all these years. And, you know, we have done this like years ago on the Instagram sale? Maybe, but I don't think we were ready for it. And like now we're ready, and like now it makes sense. So I just feel like you have to like trust the timing of everything, but you also have to start.
That's the biggest thing.
But I think
right into
But I think that there's also, everybody is on a different path. It means a lot here too, because obviously Maggie and Jason have had this long path of experience with events, experience with flea markets, seeing that you had and found your own love within that, meaning Magpie Market, is amazing, because seeing that dream, and I think that's what resonates with her so much, my sister meaning, because this is what she wants too, but she has less of a path that it's on. It's more, you know, it's in a different direction. So that's, I think, where, you know, you're coming from a little bit. What really resonated with me is that you said, not that you can't have a plan, but having a vision rather than a plan is so much.
That makes sense.
It will put your path into play a little bit more, because having a plan and then that plan not happening, it makes it so much harder for you. But if you have a vision and something tweaks with the vision, it's okay.
Yeah, you just
because the vision
roll
isn't
with
set
it.
in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Totally.
something that I think that is so hard for a lot of us as human beings is like we have, especially as Americans too, and we can say this, like timetable. Need to get this done now.
Right,
you moving to the country probably put you a little bit in a less step that way. You probably feel a little, well, I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm saying like moving from the city to the country, the timetable is probably a little bit different.
I feel like when we moved here, which we didn't think we were coming here until maybe we were in our 40s, we were in our 30s, and I do feel like it's like 2 steps back. But now maybe like 4 steps forward.
Yeah. Because
Like,
you can like think. You can
totally.
hear yourself think.
Like for
But
the first,
even having the space to create what your vision, like putting your storefront vision as an example into place, like you couldn't, I mean, you could do that down the city, but it probably would have, been a little bit of a different unfolding process.
And with all the looting and stuff going on, and I'm not trying to bring that up, but I'm just saying like, if it happened there, that could have happened. And, it's, this is a safer space for the time that it is, and it's on your property too. So I think that and the whole vision versus plan thing really, really resonated with me. And the fact that you have this warehouse on your own lawn, on your own soil, and you're able to keep it, and it's family oriented. I just respect that, and I yearn for that so much. And I know that we'll have something someday that way, but this is something that is very inspiring to both of us. So,
and we both cut you off, so go ahead.
oh no, sorry. There's so much to say.
yeah, we tend to do that.
I feel like moving here, same thing what you said, like I wanted to do everything the day I got here.
Yep.
Like I want the store to be open, I wanted all these things. But, we needed to spend those 2 years to sort of like even just figure out how to live here. Like it's such a different animal.
I would say coming from Philly to here is a little different.
So I'm losing my train of thought.
No.
But I think we took a few steps back by like, but this is the dream. So it's like if I had to sacrifice a few years to get a little bit further eventually, then it's worth it.
And to be able to, and that kind of leads right into our last question was, what has been the greatest discovery of yourself during the building of all of this? And I feel like we've been saying that throughout, but if you had to really kind of put it into a couple sentences, what do you think it would be?
This was a tough one for me. I feel like, especially this year, and I know so many other people could probably relate, but like what a reflective year this has been. I feel like I've been in therapy this whole time with myself.
I know.
But it was good. But I feel like when I think about it, I just feel like I've learned that I'm capable. Like super corny answer, I know, like super cliche, but I just feel like if I had to put it into 2 words, it's just like I'm capable. Because I definitely spent a few years, even ironically enough, like when we got here, I was a little like in a depressed state. I felt a little lost. Like I said with Magpie Rentals, and I don't like to hate on it. I love Magpie Rentals, but like it just like wasn't doing it for me anymore. But through all of it, and again, like reflecting on everything that we've done and where we're at now, it's like, oh wow, like I am capable of doing it, of taking a vision and making it happen,
of pivoting.
Everything. It kind of like puts everything under like an umbrella.
Yeah.
I don't think that's corny at all. I don't think that would ever be a corny answer in my
Oh my gosh, no.
Because, and I'm queen of the corn. So I literally, I feel like I'm, I usually point out things like that, but I think that was a very genuine and real and authentic answer. And that's exactly what we like to do on this podcast is talk about real. And sometimes it's not pretty, and sometimes it is, and we just like to keep, even if it isn't pretty, what was the part about it that felt the best, and the capability of all that feeling. Saying I'm capable in a year when you're running a small business and doing everything that you're doing, and saying that I'm capable, I think that really is very crucial and very important. And I don't come from a lot of experience on my end in that area, but I really think that it's something to look up to.
Yeah. But you experience, we all experience feeling like not being capable, aka not being good enough. So like, it's a really inspirational just phrase, and like, again, something that we can all admire, and that's what we want to bring to this podcast too is that like we all feel this way, some way, shape, or form. Maybe not running a business, but in some way, shape, or form, you feel like I'm not capable. I can't do that. It's going to take so much to do that. Well, you don't know until you start, right? And then along the way, you figure out all the different paths you have to take in order to get around and over and like
adjust,
get all the obstacles out of the way. So I think it is not corny. It is the exact perfect answer that we would love to hear, and it's a good reminder for us.
Yes, and speaking from that last very excited part that you emphasized, we thought that we would talk about little things that give us life. So we usually do for people that listen to our podcast, we usually do something like Nothing Like a Good, something that really just, I keep saying this, but like resonates with you, but it could be silly, it could be funny, it could be stupid. I like that word. People don't like that word. It could be a bunch of different things.
But it's really the idea of this exercise, we can call it, is to just boil down to the simple things that maybe happen to you every day or happen a certain time of year that just make you feel good, and they just give you all of the good vibes. And today we're going to talk about fill in the blank on what gives you life. So blank gives me life. And we can't wait to hear all of the answers that are about to come out of Maggie's mouth and Marilese's mouth. I have a feeling I'll be a little more boring, but that's okay.
I have word vomit, so I need to speak.
No, somebody go before me.
So, of course, it's Small Business Saturday, and of course that we came here to, pay tribute to a bunch of different small businesses, Magpie Market being, the most important today. But what I wanted to do, since we were coming out to Boyertown, which is like a 50-minute drive from where we're from, so I was like, okay, let's go out there, maybe see a brewery or a winery. I'm always into that stuff, always into drinking. We can talk about that later, different animal. But we went to, Maggie, what is the place we went to?
The Other Farm.
The Other Farm. This is a local brewery, right?
Yep.
And they are just, it's only 6 minutes down the road from Maggie's house. So we were like, okay, this will work great. And first of all, when we went into the town, it looked like Bloomsburg, and I got a little bit of, nostalgia from the college that I went to. But we went to this brewery, and something that always gives me life, no matter where I am, if it's a brewery or not, there were beer flights on the menu. I saw them. I wanted to order them. It's not even that I was in the mood to drink or anything like that. I wanted to get the beer flight.
She likes the presentation of the actual flight.
There's something about a beer flight that makes me so excited. I don't know if it's because it's like beer glasses that are really tiny, and there's like a little paddle, and they put the names on it. I don't know what it is. It's like a kid in a candy store. I get so excited. It took me a really long time to finish all of them. I just wanted to stare at it.
That's why we were late. Just so you know, that's why we were late.
Yes, that we were late. And I said that.
And I was not helping with any of them.
Reason accepted.
Yes, thank you. As soon as I came out of the car, I actually was like, sorry, I didn't finish my beer flight in time.
But to summarize, it's the presentation. Like it was a paddle, and it had the miniature beer glasses. And
that we stole one of them.
We did. We took one of them.
We had to confess.
I won't say anything.
Sorry, other farmers. Other farm. It was a really nice experience, though. I liked how rustic it was. I liked how it was like a little taverny, but that's something that I love in like a style in a restaurant. So all the beer was really good, but the beer flights, I come down to a beer flight every morning. If it's not beer, it could be something else. It could be like maybe
a coffee flight?
Oh, I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
Which is
Should
funny.
we be worried about what you're
Yes.
drinking every day?
Yes, but if I came down to it even if it was just water,
listen up, Anna.
Presented that way,
her new roommate. Listen up, Anna.
I would.
She wants
it would make me really excited.
A flight of mimosas.
Every Saturday morning, I want a flight of mimosas, 4 of them named with the color coding. And then what went...
Okay.
Like
ombre, what each came from, and the origin, and what their names are.
Like a different juice in each one.
Exactly. I think that
You might be onto something.
Maggie and I are going to move. Jason, Maggie and I are moving in together. Thank you. Actually, I'm moving into the farm. You're moving into
the warehouse. We built... Can you build us bunk beds, Jason? All right, you're up next, Meg.
So, I feel like I have a bunch, but... they all have to do with, my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is such a bad answer.
No, it's not.
The one thing that I think of immediately that gives me life is having my coffee made at night before I wake up.
There you
Okay.
go.
Do you do, cold brew or something?
No, it's just, my machine. But,
I love
if it
it.
is not... It's anything that has to do with, organization... or like having my life completely in order before I fall asleep is like all the things
I think you guys should wave at each other again.
Need to wave
I think
at
you
each
guys
other
should wave at
again?
each other.